Yeah. So Vijay is an IIT Madras pass out, and he is very passionate about empowering people with interpersonal skills, be it public speaking, communication, leadership, effective communication, presentation, all the skills. So that's the reason why he has started this Peak Impact Mentorship organization, through which he has been doing a lot of initiatives. One such initiative happens over the weekend on Saturdays, where he talks about a lot of growth principles, and along with that people started enjoying those workshops and they wanted to share their learnings. So that is where this book club comes into picture, wherein you get to learn amazing things from the books that we recommend, and also any books that you can pick up. Whatever learnings that you got from those books, you can come and share here with all of us. Yeah. So that is the basic agenda. Like always, last week also we had an amazing session about decision making. So I've cut out a small video for all of you, just to see what we had discussed, and many of us were part of that particular workshop too. So I'll be playing a video, just a trailer. And also coming weekend we have another workshop. It's a continuation for the last week's workshop. So to get more details about it, you can reach out to us. I'll place my contact details in the chat box. You can reach out to me for more details. Yeah.
Opinion you carried about any subject, let's say it is a discussion in home with husband and wife, and you carried a belief, and let's say it is between you and your boss, it's between you and your client, anything. Last 3 opinions which you carried about a subject, what was the validity of that opinion? On what basis did you came? Did you dig enough? Did you have the whole information? Think upon it. That most of the time we take a decision without understanding the whole scene. You know what Daniel Kahneman says? He says this: the tendency is known as what you see is all there is. Visualize like this. You know what exactly I mean to say? It is like this. Just visualize like that. Have you seen some live shows ever in movies? Some live shows. There's a stage, which is a big stage, and there's a spotlight on the character of the movie, the hero. There's a spotlight. The whole stage is big stage. I mean, it's a big stage, right? In that stage, 200 plus people can stand on that stage. Is that gigantic a stage? Total pitch dark light. Total pitch dark. There's nothing else. Only thing is the spotlight is on the hero of the movie, right? And you see just that spotlight. For some time, you just see the spotlight. All of a sudden, you forget that there is a big stage. You don't know anything about it. You have no clue. You just see that stage. And then what happens? After seeing that stage, you just start visualizing the characters in your mind, that he might be like this, or she might be like this, or this is might be happening, that is might be happening. This particular concept is known as spotlight effect. And 90% times, I mean, if you are a person like me who is very fast in taking decisions and all, you come to conclusions just like that. This guy is a wrong guy. His behavior is wrong. He is a... And then if your ego is high, you do not want to correct your decision also. Have it happened? Has it happened with you? If you're married, you can immediately say, yes, sir, it is happening. For me, it is 2 hands. Yeah, it happens every day. It happens every day. I come to conclusion, and then I realize, man, this conclusion was wrong. And I hate to type that apology letter, but then I have to say apology. Sincere sorry. I just spoke out of my emotions. Actually, it was wrong. It takes guts. I mean, I do it on every week. At least I have to type one such message to my wife. I mean, I do that because I'm such a fast decision taker, and I always believe my decision is right. I'm the spotlight effect. Whatever is in front of me, I immediately come to conclusion and think that my conclusions are right. All of us think my conclusions are right. I am the best thinker. But then on what basis is the question mark?
Okay, so this is a trailer. Okay, so the audio was not coming, is it?
Audio
coming, right? Okay.
Yeah. It could be network issue, maybe that's why it could be. We can share it. Yeah,
yeah, we'll share the video. It's okay. So welcome Swati, Sonali, and
Mohini. Yeah, Monica. I think we did not had interaction with all of them. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So whoever is ready with your topic, you can do a raise of hand. Yeah. Okay, nice. So we'll go with Swati first. Swati, you're ready?
Yeah, Bharat.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. How is everyone doing?
Wonderful. Fantastic.
Okay, that's really great to know. And for those of you who are not doing great and awesome, that is also fine. So I want you to ask yourself this question. How long have we been locked inside our houses? Just ask and answer it for yourself. So has it, for me, it's been since March. I think for all of us, it's been since March, but some of us were not at home. Some of us were staying in our PG or were in our flat, and now they probably moved to their hometown, hopefully, according to their wish. So it's been March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. This is the seventh month of being locked down. So I want you to ask yourselves, do you remember what all of these months were like? Do you remember what you did in not January, in April, May, June, July, and all of these months respectively? So I, for one, remember some part of it. I have trained my mind to remember it. But if we were not locked down, if we were outside, we would remember things more easily. Don't you think? I, for one, think that I remember what I did in May of 2019. I remember what I did in March of 2019. That's because there were events that happened. We went on trips, or we partied, we went to office parties, or there was our college function, or something like that. And it was easier for us to track, right? So now our everyday looks almost the same. We wake up, we have breakfast, we work, or we attend online classes for our schools or colleges, and we do household chores. And then by the end of it, by the end of the day, when we are done, it's done, and then we get have dinner, we talk to our friends here and there, and then we go to sleep again. We wake up the next day, do the same thing, repeat. On the weekends also, we do the same thing. So when this has been happening for 6 to 7 months, it's very easy to lose track of time. We feel 1 month is going by like that in a week, and that's what's happening. So there is this habit that I have been doing since I've had this practice of this habit since I was in ninth standard, that is 2009. And it's quite effective. It's simple, okay? What I do is when I was in school, I would just, after school, I would come and write down whatever happened in my school. And after that, I would do that every day, every day, every day. I did that in my school, college, engineering, and after engineering also. So with that, I remembered what I did throughout the day. So what you can do is, or what you can try is, maintain a diary. That diary does not have to be something fancy. It can just be. Can I just take 1 more minute, Bharat, if that's okay? Because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
needed.
Swati, go ahead. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it can just be the simple book like this. I mean, it does not have to be fancy, or it can be a simple notebook of 100 pages. You can just write today's date and did all the things that you did, like the things that you normally do in a day. For today, I'll write, I woke up at this time. I actually woke up early this morning, so I'll write that. I woke up at this time, I had breakfast, blah, blah, blah. And along with writing the things that I normally did, I will also include the things I did that I normally wouldn't do in my day-to-day life. Like it's not an everyday task. So I went to buy groceries. I went to the market, and I received a phone call there, and I was talking. So I'll write this. Okay, so that is how I'll remember. So when I'll be reading it again, I'll remember that, okay, Wednesday was different. I attended book club. I was wearing this pink jacket in the book club. And so that is how our mind remembers. And before coming to the book club, I was doing something else. I went to the market, and before going to the market, I was helping my mom out. So we relate all of these things. We actually tend to believe that we are lazy, but our mind is much stronger than we think it is. So we just have to give it a little push and it will just do wonders. I mean, it's surprising to even think that. So just start with it and let me know how it goes, because it's quite simple. You don't have to actually do it on your phone. You have to you can do it on your you don't have to do it in a book. Sorry, there. You can do it on your phone or your laptop or any electronic device that is accessible to you. And just you will surprise yourself at the end of a week or a month that extra things that you did. So I hope you have great fun doing this. Thank you. Back to you, Bharat.
Yes, that absolutely true, Swati. Actually, what you said about, time passing by like that, right? And I mean, clearly remember we came back to Bangalore on May first week, and it's been what already, October, and this many months have been passed by, and it was so quick. I mean, if you look back, we hardly, we just felt that we have reached, to Bangalore, and here we are in October so quickly. It's a very good, thing to reflect upon. Actually, nowadays, like you said, right, it's been like you wake up, you do something, you do your work, and then the day gets over. That's all, not much. Yeah. Thank you so much, Swati. Yeah, like you were mentioning, right, the journaling is a very good thing that I'll actually talk. It is also one of components in my talk today, and thank you so much for bringing that up again. Yeah, and
connect the dots.
yeah, we'll connect the dots over there. Thank you so
Looking
much,
forward
Swati.
to hear
Wonderful.
from
I
you.
really
Wonderful.
liked your talk, which you did live. It's very wonderful. Happy to see you, helping others as well with your wonderful content. Thank you so much.
Actually, I'm sorry, Bharat, to cut you off. I actually had mentioned this hack that you had told me. I don't remember if you remember telling me. It was like in April. You were just talking about going to Bangalore. We didn't even know each other well then. And I asked you, how do you maintain all of this, Bharat? You talk to so many people all day, and we used to have our book clubs back then on Saturdays. So you told me, no, Swati, see, every hour of the day, I write what I do. From if I sleep, I'll write that. If I eat dinner, if I sit and cry, okay, that is mine. If I just sit and cry and beat myself up, that also I'll write, so that I know where my time is going. So that is also something you can try.
Yeah, it's exactly called as time. I mean, we do it like time budgeting kind of a thing. So we'll know where our time goes actually. It's true. Yeah. I remember that having the talk with you.
And if unknowingly, if you're not budgeting also, but you are, before you go to bed, if you just create a to-do list in your mind, somehow in the entire of the day, you remember that I had kept that in the thing and it comes back to you. But it has to happen, a habit of doing it previous day, otherwise it doesn't come back.
Yeah. True, Supra.
I just wanted to add that. Yeah, but it was a wonderful talk, Swati. Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, our regular folks have already started commenting. So people who have joined us for the first time, this is a growth platform, guys. Whenever the speaker is ending his talk, just put in a good appreciation message of whatever you liked it. So this way helps the speaker next time to perform even more better, and also it's kind of a encouraging for the speaker too. Yeah, I've seen a lot of appreciation comments already. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes. So is it a pick from which book, Swati? I think we have some people asking about it.
Which one, Supra?
Did this content you pick from any book, or how is it?
No. It's not from a book. I wanted to talk about it because so I heard so many people telling me I'm losing track of time. It's already October. How?
Okay.
It's actually actually
it's all based on your experiences, right? That's good.
Yeah.
But it's a good content.
Yeah, very nice content. I really liked it actually when you went live. Okay.
Actually, Bharat, sorry.
No problem.
I had made this poster for August. Like in August, I had made, but I did it 1 month, so I'm lazy.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so next we'll take Sai Vineet. It's a very important topic. It's personally I always gets motivated by how Sai Vineet.
Our co-host cannot raise his hand, so we have to help him.
Yes. So okay.
Okay.
See, you guys able to hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead, Sai. Yeah.
Myself, Sai, I'm from Bangalore, born and brought up in Telangana. today, before starting my topic, I just want to give some information about this journalism and to-do list. So we have one beautiful app. I was writing diary from past around 900 days. So it's been almost more than 2.5 years. So in the Dailyo app, you will be having an option to have the to-do list, and you have an option to write the diary also. So I started writing from 2.5 years. That is one of the most like I can tell one of the most motivating factor which helps me to read the book also, and it gives unlimited reminders if you have a premium membership. I don't want to promote much about that. Let's go into topic first. And today's my topic was like about book reading and how it will help in our life, and how the it will connect our wheel of life. Hope all of you know about wheel of life. If not, Bharat bro and Supra will be explaining better way. So when it comes to wheel of life, I will explain wheel of life in simple manner. So if you take Robin Sharma and if you take Yuvakera, if you know You Can Win. Most of the people who try to read any book, they will be always know about Yuvakera or You Can Win. So in this book, and Robin Sharma is one of the greatest person also. So he on sorry. So he always tells us that the life will be divided into three parts. One is personal life, and one is professional life. One more is professional, and one more is spiritual life. So how all this can be connected to a book, and how all this will be connected to book like wheel of life. So I'll explain clearly and in simple manner. So basically, I started reading a book for the main thing was personal growth. We all want personal growth, and but we are not sure how we can get it. So in the same manner, I also started reading the book. So one book I read, second book I read. So the number of books I increased. So it what happened was it kept me increasing my personal level. So if you take my personal level, if you take wheel of life, in that if you take personally, there are many things. So if you want to grow personally, you have to have your health and fitness. So for health and fitness also, we have a lot of books. If you take Ikai from Japanese, so in that book also they will beautifully narrate how we can keep our body in perfect way. And this is one of the great thing which helped me a lot. And if you take one more thing about family and relationships, when I was very interested in knowing about families and relationships, how it works. So once Sukra suggested me to read Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. So that book really gave me a lot of information. So when I read a book, I get a lot of knowledge, and when we use that knowledge in perfect way, means when you're reading only, you'll be getting knowledge. Might be reading or watching the video, it will help you. So I'll cover it soon. So the personally you can grow very well by reading a book, and professionally if you take Rich Dad and Poor Dad and the Richest Man in Babylon and Pipeline of Parabola. So if you read these books, you will be getting more knowledge about money and career. And the last thing about spirituality. Spirituality is one of my famous topics. I am the very great fan of Shiva. So I was when I was from a small age, I used to think that Shiva is a god. He will be in Himalayas, so I should go for Himalayas. I was thinking, but after reading the book, I understood that spirituality lies within mostly. And when I read The Alchemist, it is all about understanding the world in in ourselves more than understanding the world outer. So lot of things when I read about spirituality, I understood that faith, belief, these are more powerful, which all comes under spirituality. So don't ever try to ask more doubts on spirituality. Why? Because spirituality cannot be proven, but it can be proved to yourself. And the always you should never ask why. It is always within. You should always get the answers from your within. So if you want to get the answer from within, you need to have tremendous amount of knowledge, and the tremendous amount of knowledge will come only by reading books in proper manner. Why I tell by reading books only in the sense, if you go and ask any person, like the book, why I started reading the book, one person told me that if you are going to read a book, uh, it's an depth knowledge of a one person which is given by one person for entire life. So in a book, it will be given a lot of information, and If you see a movie, you can get in 3 hours, you'll get 5 or 10 points. But if you read a book for 5 minutes, you'll get more than 5 points. That's why I suggest everyone to read books more, and it will definitely help you in Wheel of Life. I was a good person, but now I can tell I'm a better person. I'm being a better person because I read daily. Thank you. Thank you all. Hope this will add little value.
Very beautifully ended, Sai. Appreciating yourself is the first thing which you can always do. Making yourself good, better, and then best would be the best thing I would always say. It's a wonderful topic, but the very nice way you have touched the wheel of life component of finance and other aspects and covered it in a very less time, because the topic itself is very big, I would say, but it has been jotted down
Yeah.
and then kept into very less. So
Yeah, I was having a talk with Kiran and we were discussing about bringing this topic, and then for both of us only one person came into our mind, that is Sai Vineet, because we know he has read almost, we were looking at the Wheel of Life and he has almost touched all the components in that particular Wheel of Life. With how many books you have read? 100, is it, or more than that?
I think last time
No,
he
no,
shared
it's
the
not
video, it
100.
was 100, and then you would have completed by
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And one good point I wanted
No,
to
no, it
add,
was
Sai.
50 actually.
Yeah, yeah. Share
No,
share
no,
it with us. Yeah, yeah.
I want to show something photo. It was not coming clear, I guess. You're able
That's
to
No
see the
fine.
worries.
photo?
Yeah. The pace of your talk has
Okay.
become best compared to the first day when we heard your talk. I mean, every time the pace has been different, but this pace is what is better for understanding and knowing the content, I feel. Yeah.
You can send it to me actually. I can share the file here. I have an option to share the file. I can share it here.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
share
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah. So next,
Shri.
before we go to the speaker, can we take a snap? Can everybody,
I hope
turn on your
everyone's network should be good. Yeah.
yeah, turn on your video and please smile for us. I'll take a picture. Hi Mohini, how are you?
Hi, Mohini.
Hi.
So after a long time, we are seeing a couple of faces. No, that's why
Yes.
very excited.
Okay, one more please. Yeah, yeah, a few more. Yeah. Okay, anyone else turning on your video? I'm clicking the picture. Smile.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, now it is up to you. You can either turn on or turn off. It is fine.
But it's good to turn on so we can see you guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And next, we'll go with Srikant.
Yeah. Hey everyone, fantastic evening.
Very good.
Is my
Fantastic.
voice clear?
Here,
It is clear, Sri.
you can
Go
start.
ahead.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I just wanted to share a concept called desire from a book called Think and Grow Rich. So the specific point what this tells us is like we all have a desire in our mind. Remember when you wanted that car when you were a child, or when you wanted to buy that ice cream, you were torturing your parents, you were rolling over the ground, you were beating yourself to get that thing, right? So now if you want anything in your life, you need a job change, you need a pay rise, what you're going to do? You're going to make excuse instead of falling on the ground and rolling over. You don't do it anymore. So that's called wish. So what you are doing right now is wishing. So we wish that I need that, I need this, man, I wish I was like him, I wish I get that pay. So you always wish. So once you start going back to the kid you were, once you start getting that desire back, so what happens is it will drive you, it will create options, opportunities for you to get those things. So in this specific chapter, the author insists on why you should desire a thing. Because when you desire a thing, you want it by heart. So when you want something by heart, your heart makes everything coordinate, your opinions, decisions, thoughts, whatever it is happening around you. So that's why you need to have a strong desire when you need something in your life. So create a desire for what you want, especially not the bad ones for sure. So it's a good ones, like the ones that will affect your life in a good way. So some people might think, okay, I'll desire for a Xbox or something that will only take money out of your pocket. So these are the things that you want in your life. These are your dreams. So what this will do is it will make options for you, opportunities for you. Like you will in your daily life itself, you will see all the opportunities around you. But when you start desiring the things, it's like you are seeing them for the first time. They start coming out of the darkness. Oh man, this is happening every day. I just realized it today itself because you are desiring it. Unless you don't do it, you won't be able to do those things. So it's not about the passion or motivation. It's solely about the burning desire for what you really want. If you burn your bridges and never retreat, you will get everything you want in your life. So any obstacle that comes your way will be just a small obstacle along the way. So it's like people do mistakes. Who don't do mistakes? So you just have to do the mistakes to get what you want. So you just have to work on it. So that's what this thing simply says. I mean, I can extend and keep talking about desire as much as I want, but the key aspect of what this says is you need to want something by your heart. Then only you can get it. Then only you can work for it. Don't just wish for it, desire it. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys in this book club session.
Very wonderful and concentrated talk, Shri. I would say one thing. The moment you started talking about the childhood and rolling on the floor, being a girl, I would say you that I was one of the child who was very stubborn. Whatever I need, I just make sure I get it. And today you refreshed all this memory that whenever I want now something, I should be in that same zone. That your talk remembered me those all things actually. Very well covered. Thank you so much for the topic.
Yes.
Did you get a chance to recollect all your dreams after reading this desire?
If that's how I got this idea.
Really nice, really nice. Yeah.
My key learning is, about burning the bridges for your burning desire. So that's a powerful concept. Do check it out. What does burning bridges means? It's not literally burning the bridges, but burning all your possibilities, like all other options. Yeah. So when you want something, should not look for other things. You should be laser focused to achieve that particular thing. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you for bringing that line into your talk. Thank you so much, Sri. As always, wonderful talk and right on time too. So guys, now we have an amazing speaker with us, and he is Mr. Amit. He's an IIM pass out. Yeah, he's an IIM graduate, and he's with us here today to speak on a wonderful topic on how to design your life. Yeah, and why he's the person to talk about it? Because he has got rich experience of almost 14 years into retail industry, and he has also been a coach with PIM for a very long time. I've known him personally. I'm one of ardent followers. I like his talks very much. He'll be very crisp and very clear. The way he narrates also, it will be very wonderful. And without any further delay, let me invite Amit here.
Welcome to the book club, Amit.
Yeah.
Hi, Bharat. Hi, Supra.
Yeah.
Thank you for the wonderful invite. Good evening, all. It's pleasure to be here. What an introduction. So, okay, let's start, right? So with respect to me, so my last education was IIM Lucknow, and I am working at a senior level with one of the finest retail organization in India, Landmark Group. And, if I talk about myself, so my schooling was completely, from Delhi, and post my schooling, I did hotel management, and my career started from Delhi, right? And if I speak about my family background, so my father is engineer, my sister is engineer, my cousins are engineer, you name Mama, Chacha, Tao, everyone is engineer, right? So I've had everyone engineer in and around me. So it was not that, I hated engineering. But I'll tell you why I want to do it different. My father being a civil engineer, whenever he used to come back to home, right, I used to see him, having dust, mud, carrying all over because, he was an engineer. He used to visit sites, that. So sometimes I used to also have a doubt, engineer, mazdoor and all that, you can understand, correct? But however, but for me, the engineer perception was that, by that point of time, correct? Now, what has been happening? I thought, okay, let's do it different. And when that was the case, definitely I got enrolled to hotel management course, and then that was a 4-year program. And then since after that, I realized that maybe engineering was better than this, But however, I did my, hotel management successfully. And during the course of hotel management, if some of you are aware about that, you have to go through internships, with 5-star hotels and all that. So during that course, when I was going through, the internships, with the hotels and everything, a sort of luxury was there that, okay, maybe I would become one of the finest hotelier, having a big cards, luxury hotel, right? I mean, basically that term is actually related to the luxury, correct? But was that the reality? Actually, no, correct? Now, when I did my hotel management, and by that time I had actually figured out that, what is this industry all about, correct? And when I talk about that, was I really fascinated to start off my career with hotel management, even though after getting campus placement? Actually, no. Correct. And though then I thought, okay, why not to have some higher studies, and then maybe I'll be better off in my life. Correct. So a sort of mirage, got created to get status quo in the life. Hai. And then, but by that time, one of the situation came in that my father, being a class 1 officer, he got a promotional transfer to another city, and by that time, I got a sense of responsibility, that my mom and my sister all over alone over here, how would they manage, survive, and all that stuff. So I thought, okay, let me postpone the decision, and then I start off with a career in one of the good companies to start off with, which was McDonald's, right? And started off with management training, and then moved on promotions and all that, but then was not happy, right? And then moved on and switched over to my industry, which was then retail. And since it was a new industry to me, so I definitely had to struggle, right, a bit, but definitely, I had a good grasp by the end of 2 years, 3 years, but still, I was not happy. Yes, there was a burning desire to move up, have good amount of money, good time, good family, status quo. Again, you remember, was looking and searching for the mirage. But was that happening? Actually, no, right? So by that time, I had completed 4 years, and then since I had a hunger, to move on, got another opportunity and moved on to a different organization. And again, by that time I had completed 5-6 years, and then I realized, is that what I wanted? So was actually not happy. And then I thought, boss, again the pop-up of this virus came up, which was MBA, higher studies, and all that. And I thought, okay, let me stop everything, actually go ahead and then finish it off, and then let's see what happens. And then I did it, of course, one of the premier institute, and then got a good comeback in the industry. Everything is fine, right, in the initial phases. But they say no, that greater power comes with a greater electricity bill, correct? So here what I mean is that greater responsibility position comes with the heavy workload and the greater expectations, correct? So over a period of time, I realized that this is not going to be a 9-to-5 kind of job, and this is actually not. There is no time of meetings. This is nothing so-called that, what I've thought of that, even after MBA, my life will be so-called cool, comfortable. Actually, no, correct? That virus which was there, like aram wala job and all that, that was not the reality. Again, let me tell you the honest story, right? And that's my story, correct? So what was happening, then I started looking at my life, that is that what I wanted? Was it really worth it? When I say worth it, not only with respect to the money which I spent, also amount of time which I spent, because even though when I told you that I was in college, I had already figured out that, I have to do higher studies. And by that time only I had started preparing for CAT, to be very honest, right? And since that helped me, right? I mean, I was preparing for it side by side, and all that thing was happening. So still, life was never easy. Those struggles were there, but I still, that burning desire was there to move on, to keep achieving the next levels and the next goals, and all that was there. But when I started recollecting that, I'm not getting time. In fact, what I started getting is loads of stress. That too, of course, because of the workload. And in today's time, when you actually go back and see in last 6 months what has happened, a lot of people you would be knowing, I know, have actually been a part of layoffs, correct? Are being asked to move on, correct? Irrespective of their age, irrespective of their education, irrespective of their backgrounds, experience, and etc. and etc. Correct? Are these the good feelings? Actually, no, correct? However, there's a different situation today. Even 2 years back, when I started thinking of about that, am I really happy today, with the achievements, whatever so-called I've had? Actually, no, right? So, and one day I actually looked at my kid, who today is 6.5, and then when I'm talking about 2 years back, 1.5 years back, I thought that, okay, what am I really missing? Why there is something so-called a suffocation which is happening, that every time I think of moving on to for the betterment, but still something is missing. And then I realized that what will happen with this gentleman, who is just 4 years today. Then I thought, okay, is that because that I'm not able to understand my life? If that's the case, what will happen? What am I missing? Am I missing somebody who could hold my hand the way I'm holding his hand? Making him, teaching him how to walk, how to learn, how to talk, how to play. Then I thought, okay, if I have to design his life looking at my experiences, what will I do? Okay, that one way to look at it is that I create wealth, start putting money into SIPs, buy equities, buy house, and then hand it over to him, right? But actually, I do not mean that. What I'm trying to say here is, how about that I be a friend to him, I be a good and open mentor to him in his life, hold his hand, understand his personality, understand him in completely, and then ask him the right questions, understand his likes, dislikes, and then show him the right path. Right? So let's take an example. If my kid today wants to learn swimming, there can be a couple of answers, right? Okay, beta ho jayega, baad mein ho jayega, bade ho jaoge to apne aap ho jayega, school jaoge to apne aap ho jayega. But rather than that, if I understand that today, because I'm open up with him, he's able to share his, understanding and then interest, I get him enrolled into the academy, swimming pool academy, and there I help him out, and with the help of right coaches, he understands, how do I get through this swimming, and then learns it. And since he has learned at the early stage, he would move on to the next levels rather than the previous thought of bade ho jaoge to ho jayega, right? Or maybe when the right time comes, then it will happen. So I think I would be able to avoid all of that if I become an open coach, friend, and a mentor to him, isn't it? So friends, 2 years back, I also happened to meet Mr. Vijay, where I really, realized that I was actually missing a mentor in my life, right? Who could have holded my hand, told me about that, these are the things which can help you in finding your passion, right? Discover your passion and then work towards it, right? Because running after money may not give me the fulfillment. In fact, actually, it is actually not giving, to be very honest, right? In fact, today when I look at some people and some students, in fact, you would also know in and around, some people, go and then ask you that, can I do MBA? Will that be right one and wrong one? And then I again, look at myself. What do I say to him, right? In fact, some of the students are not even able to get their ROI. When I say ROI, return on their investments which they have made, they take loans, and that not everyone gets to the kind of package what we expect, correct? The same kind of mirage and myth what I have had when I was into a 5-star hotel, that maybe I'm the owner of this hotel, correct? So that's how it is right now. So if any one of you is able to connect to my story, what I'm trying to only say over here is, guys, friends, let's relook at our life. Let us rethink about everything what is happening. The moment when we get up until we sleep in the night, are we really happy? Are we really happy enjoying what we are doing, or is our life being controlled by someone else? There is a big difference. Trust me, there is a big difference. Correct? You ask me because the amount of stress, as in when you grow up, comes to you by default, by the virtue of job. It is not only the stress. This stress actually not only takes toll on your health, neglected social life. In fact, it actually disturbs your own work-life balance, and which eventually disturbs maybe your marital life, maybe your parental life. A lot of things are there associated with only one life, right? So think through this is what I'm trying to say. 1, 2, rather than asking this question and thinking about that, I will become this. Why not to ask this question that, what kind of life I want to live? And then find out the person who is living that kind of life, and then get connected, make him understand, invite him to look at your life, your journey, and then allow him to hold your hand and find your right passion, so that could give the right happiness to us, right? Because it's not a matter of couple of years, it's a matter of entire lifelong journey, right? And by living the life of someone else, or maybe somebody else is controlling our life, trust me, we will reach nowhere. Is what my story is all about, right? So what I'm trying to say again here is, finding your passion is extremely important, right? And if I also say that if you will work for money, I'm sure you would have read that Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it is very clearly mentioned that through the so many stories which has been narrated, if you work for money, you will actually settle for less, right? Very clear cut philosophies has been given in the complete philosophy of a rich dad versus a poor dad, right? So guys, passion really helps you to make a difference. If you are doing something, you will find it really valuable, right? Those are the real successful, right? Today, if we take, as a young bunch of people, we take an example, and even we look at, Elon Musk, when we talk about, Mark Zuckerberg, they all have found their passion and they have moved on to that journey, right? And hence they are very, very, very successful, correct? So at the end is what I'm trying to say, that passion is the fuel that will keep us on the path towards realizing our goals and achieving our goals. So have a clear-cut roadmap with the help of a mentor. And I'm very thankful. And, I would always encourage that stay connected, to the PIM, Peak Impact Mentorship. I'm sure that, with a coach and guide, and with true friends like Bharat and Supra, you are really enjoying these sessions, and not only enjoying, in fact, finding, a big cause that, that has become a purpose of life, right? To achieve our goals of life. Because what are we doing here? We are actually reading good books. We are trying to inspire people, help people, and not only others. In fact, the biggest one is, helping ourselves, right? So last to say before I conclude, have a clear-cut roadmap, have a right vision for the life. If you are not able to identify and find out, and if you're into a looking zone, be open enough to develop a right relationship, with a person, and with the kind of life which you want to live, and then restart your life, rethink about it with only one question: why? And I'm sure that will actually, clarify a lot of things, a lot of doubts, is what I can say. Thanks a ton, everyone. Thank you very much, Bharat and Supra.
Thank you so much, Amit ji. I was really listening to your story because never got a chance to really hear the entire of it, but very inspiring because I invested money on one of my semester and I really wasted it. I could not continue because of some of the challenges, and I was so sad that I wasted my money and I could not complete. But I'm not regretting now though. But one best line which really touched me from your entire talk is "Bade hoge to ho jayega," right? I was remembering those things many a times I've heard it, and I have always pushed some of my dreams later point of time. But at least now I feel that let me give a try and see if it doesn't happen. That is a secondary. But now no more that second thought is not coming. But this line was really very good. I would say that, yeah.
It's a
Thank you.
actually thought-provoking, journey speech. This actually been, and all our participants would have gained some insight into how to design our life, basically, with a rich experience from your life, right? It's always good to take those key learnings from other person's life so that we don't repeat the same mistakes. Yeah, thank you so much, Amit, for your time and sharing your life journey, and giving tips on how to design based on your passion, right? If in case anyone has a question for Amit, we are open.
Correct.
You can have a.
We can just make
yeah.
him wait for some more time for us and take some questions. Yeah.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Swati.
Yes,
Hello,
sir.
Amit sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
My name is Swati. So I wanted to ask you, you said you kept on chasing one thing after the other, and you went on doing new things, better things. So did you know in the beginning from where you wanted to start from? I mean, I know I heard your entire story, but I want to ask you, did you know what you wanted to do? I'm asking this because many people from my generation have this. We are doing things, but we don't know where we are headed. I personally don't know. Let me not be any general here. So some insight on that would be great.
Absolutely, Swati. So that's a very, very relevant question. So if I say that, one mistake which I did, probably I did not begin with the end in my mind, to be very honest, right? Hence, yes, there has been a burning desire, and the burning desire is there in everyone, right? Irrespective of the education background, family background, everyone wants to have a better life, right? So like I told to you, begin with the end in mind is something, a very, very short and a sweet sentence to actually, and it has got a depth of, meaning, to be very honest. And why I feel so happy over here in this forum, because these forums have taught me, trust me, these books have taught me that how can you really find your passion. And today, if I have to actually tell somebody, that's the only one liner we can say, that please visualize your life, what you want to be. And right, I mean, rather than living somebody else's life by thinking of, in fact, if I'm not wrong, Shrikant was also mentioning, right, in his talk with respect to, somebody wants you to become this and somebody wants you to become that. And then you think that, okay, aisa kar lenge to aisa ho jayega and all that and all that. But I think the right education is that which could help us in visualizing and designing our life. Of course, if we fail, let us find a right mentor.
That helps, Amit. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Swati. Thanks.
Yeah, wonderful, Amit. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, and what else we can say? And it's a wonderful talk as always.
We are privileged.
Yes, thank you so much.
I have one question for Amit.
Yeah.
I could not know. Okay, Sasi. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yes, Sasi.
Mr. Yeah, at what point of time you realize your passion is not your regular work?
Okay. So if I tell you, as I told to you that had a background of all the engineers, right, in my family, and today, at every second year, after so let's suppose you start. So okay, so let me take an example of a kid. Until the kid wants the toy, right? They are energetic, enthusiastic, everything they will ask you and they will go and do. But the moment you get it, what happens? Then you think, what's next? That sword will be better, or the toy will be better, or the car will be better, or whatever. So if you ask me that, at what point, I think I was actually done with at the end of the 5th and 6th years of my experience. That was what am I really doing? I want to reach there, and then this is the only speed. What can be the fuel? Is the MBA a fuel? No, not exactly, right? But still, by that time, since my vision was not clear, to be very honest, hence I pursued MBA, right? Of course, it was really challenging, correct? I mean, when you are doing your job and then quitting again, restarting it, and moving on, and parents are also thinking, what the heck he's doing, right? Even if 5 years back he would have told us that all this he wants to do drama, we would have invested some money, asked him to be a contractor or whatever, because my father had that industry known to him, being very honest to you. But it was like my own decisions. But if I say that again today, if I say that 14 years of experience, 5 years back precisely, I thought that was even the higher studies is not going to help, to be very honest, right? And then of course there are a lot of engagements in the life also, got married and then again back to work, and the kind of profile I have been traveling very, very, very rigorously, and then I thought these things and these thoughts, had my life been very comfortable, I think maybe even today what I shared I might not have shared. So thank God that it has never been comfortable, to be very honest. Had it been comfortable, it would have never opened my eyes that, boss, what are these people doing? When you look at that, who are really successful and driven by their passion. What is this passion? Is that a bike name or is that a fruit name, or what is this all about? Correct? I mean, that has opened eyes. And precisely 5 years back, after when I thought, boss, done with my hotel management, done with my struggle of the job, done with my MBA also now, and what can be the best one, then I am. And so you can keep on going, okay, from Stanford, Wharton, and then what not. But ultimately, again, as I said, vision has to be really, really clear.
It helps me, sir. Thank you.
So thank you, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Amit.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Atan, Bharat Supra.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Thanks, Atan. All the
Yes.
best. Thank you. Take care. Thanks.
Okay, so we'll go with our next speaker. Shraddha, you will go next.
Shall I start?
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Because of this topic which I've given today, I got to read this beautiful book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I read chapter 1, and that is Rich Don't Work for Money. And I must say that there are some very powerful lessons in this chapter itself. It has made me rethink about money. And because I'm a person who always used to say things like, oh, I'm not interested in money, or I'm not a money person, things like that. But if I'm not a money person or I'm not interested in money, then why I don't work for free? So after reading this book, this type of questions are like coming on my mind. Throughout the day, I'm thinking about these things only. And there are some more lessons which I have learned. And I would like to mention it here point wise so that I could not miss any. So the first here is a big problem in our society is that we earn how one can earn money or spend money is not taught in our schools. Rather, we have learned about professional education and not financial education. And because of this thing, we have made our mind narrow when it comes to money. And we think things like job, salary, and profession whenever it comes to money. So this is the first point I wanted to make. The second one is we are taught about financial education by our parents, and so we have a mindset of working hard, do good study, get a good job, a good salary. In short, work for money. And but my friends, like it is not at all necessary or compulsory that if one is having a good job or a good salary, it doesn't mean that he is having sufficient money. So this is the second point. The third is, of course, money is powerful, but financial education is far more important and powerful, because once you know how money works for you, you'll become more powerful and you can generate money also. And the fourth point is about thoughts. And it is like our thoughts plays a very vital role in our life. I would like to tell you an example here. Like for an example, let's suppose I want to buy something, I want to purchase something, and after seeing the price tag, yeah, I will take 1-2 minutes more. Is it fine?
Go ahead. Yeah, Shraddha, yeah.
So, if I want to purchase something and after seeing the price tag, if I say to myself, oh, I cannot afford it, it means it is simply a negative sentence and I will stop there. But on the contrary, if I will think like, how can I purchase it? This questioning will open my mind, and my brain will start working towards the process of actually purchasing that thing. Another important point here is if someone is having a job and he is not satisfied with the job or the money which he is getting of that job, and but still he's continued doing it because of the circumstances, it simply means that he is having a temporary solution for a permanent problem. Another important point here is we have to have control over two important characteristics. First is greed, and second one is fear. If we will not be able to control these things, then for sure money will take over and it will start controlling over us. And the last point which I felt like is we should never think emotionally. Rather, we should use our emotions to think when it comes to money. So these all are the points I learned from chapter 1. And this is a very good book. And I would like to thank Bharat. Because of him only, I started reading this book. Otherwise, I would have never read, because I know this book is related to money and I don't want to go into that. So thanks, Bharat. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Wonderful, sharing, Shraddha. I mean, it's the best sharing I've heard till now, actually, from this first chapter of Rich Dad Poor Dad. Even whatever points that I actually noted down in my book, right? Those all points you have touched about, greed and fear, about thinking with our emotions. Those exact points are actually very important for each one of us. And those important points you have touched also about financial education, which most of us did not get till now, actually. I mean, if you see, none of us has got any proper financial education from our institutions, but that is really important to survive, actually. How are we surviving from here on is what we need is financial education.
I just add one point, Shraddha. See, everyone will be a very good speaker. I have come across many people within us, like we are already like in family here. All of you are really good speaker, but the moment you speak, I remember my sister. She's a teacher, actually. She doesn't speak great. She's not a voracious or very She doesn't go debate, nothing. But whenever she comes with a relevant example, which actually connects the thing with everyone, I would say. Sometimes we think that I put a great accent or I put a lot of jargons or something into my sentence and I make it a big one. But that is not what it is. When you simplify a thing and put it in the plate, how does it look? So that's what you do every time. I always listen to you. I will not have words really to narrate your talk, but those example makes it better actually. Yeah.
Thank you.
And you already started getting appreciations. It's a wonderful talk, Shwel. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with Ash.
Yeah.
Yes. Aishwarya. Yeah.
I took permission from her to call her Ash, and she told, yeah, you can call me.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Okay, so yeah. Dear Newton, Apple गिर गए तो खा लेते थे यार. इतना, I mean, तमाशा करने का क्या जरूरत थी? It was always a thing which we all students told. But if he hadn't thought about why an apple fell, if he hadn't imagined, he wouldn't have come up with an idea called gravity. So today I'm here to talk about imagination, come up with ideas, and visual your success. So imagination has no limits when we compare it to knowledge. Knowledge has some sort of limit, whereas imagination has no limit at all, according to Albert Einstein. Here, Napoleon Hill, I'll make it very simple. He gives an example about Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is something where they wanted to make a fortune. They got an idea, and eventually they set up the company. So it's like an idea turned into a revenue sector. So that's what is very simple about what he tries to do. They imagined, they thought about, I mean, the imagination turned to be an idea, and that turned to be money. So yeah, here people might think if I'm going to imagine and it's just a waste of time, I have to just go ahead with life. But remember one thing, you are working for someone else's imagination. Just because that person imagined, just because that person got an idea from that imagination, he was able to set up a company. He was able to employ so many people. So you are working for someone else's imagination. I also would like to tell that if you are imagining and if it's not working out also, there's another way of putting things. So you just imagine you got an idea and you just put through it and it's not working out. Don't give up on that. Who knows, it might turn out to be something like penicillin. So we all know about the very strong, antibiotic, which is penicillin. How did it come out? When Fleming was going ahead with inventing the wonder drug to cure diseases, that time eventually it was not working for him. So he just threw away. So when he threw away, he just found out that the contaminated Petri dish was the mold in that was eating away all the bacteria in that Petri dish. So he just found out that the item which he discarded, through that he found like a very powerful antibiotic called penicillin. So this penicillin is a bacteria which eventually came out from the idea which he thought was something else and which came out to be something else and became very powerful. So this way there are many other inventions which came out from an idea which was thought. For example, the chocolate cookies which we all love. She wanted to make chocolate cookies with mixing all the chocolate ingredients, but eventually when she forgot to she just put the chocolate on top and baked it, and eventually it turned to become a chocolate cookie. So that's how like many other inventions came out with something they imagined and something it turned out to be. So that's what I would like to tell, like, even though whatever you are trying to get from your imagination, your idea is not working out, but keep trying. Who knows, something bigger might be waiting for you from that idea. So don't give up on that. It can be your way or it can be some other way which is for you. So yeah, that's what I would like to conclude by telling. Imagine, when you imagine, you get an idea. When you get an idea, you have to make it into reality. You have to start working on it. Don't just keep it with you. We cannot judge what time holds for us. It can either be like, yes, it works, or it doesn't work, or it has something bigger for us. But don't give up. That's what I would like to conclude with. Thank you.
Very beautiful and dramatic way of starting it, Aishwarya. It was really nice. I loved the different approach you tried this time. But wonderful. Started with a good example of gravity to penicillin and a lot of things which was a small idea, and it became a big story for us to read now and understand from that we also have a lot of potential in us and a lot of ideas within us. The only thing is missing is the action part into that, and which you just wrapped up and told about it. So we need to put that across. Very, very nicely covered, actually. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, what you said is completely true about imagination. Look around. Whatever object that you see, right? If you see a chair, if you see a laptop, it is actually one person's imagination, which actually started with a person imagining it, and then that's how it turned out into an idea, and came into a real life object, right? So the starting point is imagination. So whatever we want in life, it's like, first we have to imagine we're gonna be like this, our life is gonna be like this. 10 years down the line, we have to be like this. So start with that imagination, and this particular book helps you a lot. And Aishwarya will put in the book details over there for all of us. Thank you so much, Aishwarya.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, I'll be going next. I have an important topic which I wanted to cover. Last week.
1 minute. So I just put the timer for Bharat also.
Yeah, for me also.
Because we are not able to know, right, when we start
Yeah.
talking. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, hold on, don't start my time yet. I haven't started.
I already started.
Myself on.
Started. No worries. Good.
So my topic for this week is Wheel of Life. Last week I've covered about health, and this time I'll be covering about personal development. So first, let me a quick introduction about myself. My name is Bharat, and I'm a graduate of VIT. Currently working in Bangalore as a quality assurance lead. Along with that, I'm very passionate about personal growth. So that's how I got associated with PIM, and since then it's been a wonderful journey. So coming to my topic, it's personal development component of Wheel of Life. So what is Wheel of Life? Wheel of Life is actually a concept of how our life should look like. So when you have an eagle view of your life, it should be something like this. So it should be a combination of all these components, and a great life is something where all these components are equally balanced. Yeah. So that is called as Wheel of Life, a good Wheel of Life or a great Wheel of Life. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we are balancing each of these components at regular intervals of our life equally. Okay, we should not focus on one aspect completely and forget about other aspects. Okay, so that is what Wheel of Life says about. So last week I spoke about health. So this week I'll be talking about personal growth. So what is personal growth? Personal growth is a way actually on how well you know yourself, how well you know your a distinctive personality, how well you know your strengths, your weaknesses, your setbacks, your goals, aspirations, whatever related to right? So whatever you know about yourself. So take a 5 to 6 seconds and rate yourself. So how well you know yourself. So in that, so 1 to 10 you can rate yourself. Okay. So once you have your number, so in case if it is around 5, that means we need to work on our personal development quotient. Okay, so there are actually few steps which we can work to improve this personal development score. The first one is we need to read a lot. Why do we need to read a lot? Is because if we want to improve upon something, obviously we need to gain some knowledge about it, right? So we need to read a lot. Next step is find a mentor. A mentor is someone who can actually guide you, handheld you, and take you in the right direction of this learning path. The third one is reflect at the end of each day. So this is where I was mentioning, right? So Swati mentioned a very important point on at the end of the day, just write down whatever you have done or whatever you have learned. So the same step also here, it talks about reflect at the end of each day. Okay. The fourth one is create a strong practice regimen. So practice, it can be like, let's say it can be a good routine, or it can be any good practice of achieving something. Yeah. Let's say that if you want to go from A to B, you need to have a good practice of reaching from one destination to the other destination. Okay. The fifth point is like you have to find a good association which can actually push your limits and also bring you out of your comfort zone. Okay. And next is create a reward and punishment system. So it is like it works for both good and bad habits. Let's say if I'm having a bad habit and if I'm breaking it, so you need to reward yourself. Okay. And if you are having many good habits and you are letting go of a good habit, then you should punish yourself. So you need to create a balance between this reward and punishment system. And next point is like you have to be honest with yourself. So what are all points I'm saying, right? These are 10 things which can actually help you, improve your personal development quotient of your life. Okay. The 8th point is you need to find good role models. Like for example, for me, Supra is one role model in one aspect of life. Yeah, Kiran is role model with one aspect of life, and many of you like Swati, Srikant, Sasi, many of you, Mohini, they are all my role models in each and every aspect of life. Like that, you need to find a role model in different aspect of your life, and also you need to measure your progress. It's like you set your goals, and every month or every quarter you need to go back and look at your goals. Yeah, and to do that you always need to be consistent. So this is my topic for today, and before ending my topic, I also want to share this with all our experience. We have actually worked on a good program which I wanted to share with you all. This is a 90 days growth program which we actually worked upon. Sorry, let me share my screen. Okay, so this is the program that I wanted to talk to you about. It is a 90 days personal growth program which will help you guys find all about yourself, right? Whatever points that I mentioned, right? Your strengths, your weaknesses, your personality, what all you want to do. So those all things we can actually help you find this through our 90 days program. Whoever is interested can actually get in touch with us. We'll help you all with these details so that you can be at a stage where you'll get to know what actually you are, what is your passion, like Amit is mentioning, right? So what is the roadmap that you can develop for this achieving your passion? These all things we can actually discuss. You can get in touch with us. We'll help you with further details.
And you can also share this with your friends, family, or anyone you feel that the person needs a little improvement, because anyway we work with everyone one-on-one. So that will be really helpful for a person to improve in any areas he or she is looking for. Yeah.
And
So,
I hope I completed.
we officially launched that today. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And we had discussion with a couple of you guys. Yeah. So we'll go with
Mohini.
Yeah. Mohini, are you ready?
Yeah. One second.
I just wanted to know whether I finished within time or I've crossed my.
You crossed your time, I guess. Sai, did you show the timer? I am not sure.
Yeah, I showed.
Thank you so much.
But it was nice.
We all need to
really
be in
amazing.
time because we appreciate everyone.
Yeah.
We want to really hear everyone's talk.
Yeah.
Okay, Mohini, get started.
Yes. So hi everyone, this is Mohini. I'm not sure whether you guys know me or not, but yeah, I've been part of this book club since last 3 to 4 months, I guess, and I'm also part of this 90 days challenge. I've been reading books. So yeah, so today's topic is about what to say when you talk to yourself. So I'll be just summarizing the book. It is very hard to summarize it in 3 minutes, but I'll try. So the main thing that the author talks about in this book is that he wants you to do some, in like how other authors spoke about, that you need to find whatever, you don't have to ask why, you need to see within yourself. So that's what he's trying to address here. He says that there are so many self-help books, there are so many self-help, documents available, documentaries available, but why people don't get motivated? So what is the reason behind it? He tries to understand the psychology behind it. He tries to, tell that how our brain works. It's just like a computer. So like how we write a program, how we write an application, how we give it direction. That's how from birth we have been given directions, and our mind is just doing its its job by following those directions. And if your life is not going in the right direction, then you need to take in charge of your mind. You need to control your program. You need to check where it is failing, what are the null pointer exceptions you are getting in your program, and fix those. Yeah, so he tries to define that, okay, what are the 5 main steps which can help you to do that. I mean, you should understand that what are those 5 steps which leads you to success or failure. So the first thing is the behavior. So it's directly the action which you take whenever you face a situation, or when you talk to your person. The way you behave, the way you take your action is something which determines whether you will be a failure or a success. Sometimes you will be responding very positively, sometimes you will be negatively responding. So what is the main reason? Why do you behave like that? Is it like inbuilt? No, it's not. It comes from a feeling. So second point here is the feelings what we have towards that that task or that person, that determines our behavior. So you need to understand that, okay, you have a bad feeling for that person, or you have a positive outlook for that thing. That's why you're liking it, or that's why you're not liking it. So second point is feeling. Now, how does that feeling comes into picture? So that comes into picture through your beliefs. Attitude. So that depends on your attitude. So whether your attitude is good towards life or it's not, like how Aishwarya was mentioning, right? You should have an open perspective always. Like people have done so many inventions just because they have different perspective. We all have, two eyes. We have same body parts. The only thing which is differentiating us is our brain and our perspective, the way we look at life. That is what it makes. That is what makes the difference. So that is what is attitude. So if you have a good attitude towards something, you will have a good feeling towards that. Now, how your attitude comes into picture? It's through beliefs, like what you believe. Like suppose I believe that, okay, this like startup things are, clumsy, or, it takes a lot of time. You need to invest so much time. So you'll have certain kind of beliefs in that. So that's how your feelings will be determined. That's how your actions will be taken. And now how come you have those beliefs? It is through your programming. So if you imagine it as a triangle, so it's like the base of the triangle is your programming. Then you have your beliefs, then you have your attitude, and then you have your feelings, and the last one is your action. So your action is the very minimal part, but it comes through your programming, which we don't even know. So the book is really amazing. It says like you need to find a mentor. You need to find a mentor within yourself as well, that who keeps you motivated, because external motivations will fade away sometime, but the one which you have through your from your inside will never leave you behind. So it's like your 2 a.m. friend. So that's all I had. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. It's really
Thank you
amazing.
so much, Mohini, for covering the topic on the programming, because it's in depth a very good thing. When you sit with yourself, you really can understand the programming which actually comes. Like we create a programming every now and then. Once I was sitting and realizing that every point of in our life we create a programming, and we just keep on thinking that this is how I am, but that's wrong.
That's
right. And you very nicely told about that triangle, right? It starts with programming, belief, attitude, and action. That was very nice, summarized, and easy to remember, I would say. Thank you.
Apply that patch and fix your program.
True. Yeah.
These kind of small things we'll remember forever.
So
actually,
that's how I remember when you say something. I just make a visual of it. Like I made a visual of the triangle you spoke, and then placed everything over there, and that would remain with me. It's that way. Yeah. Same with all of you guys. I believe. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have Sonali.
Yeah, nice hearing to you, after a long time. I mean, I missed your talks recently. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's nice to be back. Thank you.
Okay, Shilpa will go next.
Sonali, she's muted.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead, Shilpa.
Yeah, Sonali, we'll take you ahead.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Shall I proceed?
Yeah, please.
Start, yeah.
Okay. Very good evening, everyone. I'm here with the topic IPO Cycle of Brain. Again, taken the extract from the wonderful book by Shed Hanster, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. What is IPO? Input, process, output. Whether it's your computer or it's your brain, both works on the principle of whatever input you will be giving, processing will be done accordingly, and based on that, output will be gained. I would like to give the foundation of my today's talk with a very common example of not being able to remember names. From the past 25 years, you have been saying to yourself that I'm not able to remember names. One evening, you go to a party. There, you have been introduced to the person whose name you want to remember. Now, you say to yourself, I'm going to remember this person's name. What happens 10 seconds later? You forget the name. Why? Because from the past 25 years, you are being telling yourself to forget. You are giving input to yourself to forget, and the processing will be done accordingly. And here your subconscious feeling very proud says, see what I have done. I have done what you told me to. I made you forget. Mind it, our brain is far powerful than a supercomputer. So whatever input, whatever we think, whatever thought process we input into our brain is electrically transmitted into impulses. This is what is input, which in turn directs the control process of our brain, which electrically and chemically affect every motion, every feeling, every action we take. So whatever input we give to our brain, or whatever input we allowed others to input our brain, affects, directs, and controls. From the day we are born, we are being getting staggering amount of programming into us. We have been told what we can do and what we cannot. We are being told what we are good at and what we are not. We are being told what to expect and what not. We are being told how we look. So be very careful, because we learn to accept what we are being told and we learn to believe it. Of course, not all of our programming are of wrong ways. Most of us have experienced the love, caring, affection of our loved ones. We have our parents, coaches, friends, relatives, from where we get the vision of positive self-beliefness. So it's all up to us. Be very careful, because we are thinking machine and we never shut down. So give yourself a very strong and powerful input, let your brain process and come up with very strong and powerful output. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shilpa. Very beautiful example of remembering the name, meeting people at party. I would say it generally happens. We reprogram, but when it comes to name, I have a strategy of remembering it. I would share it with all of you. Easily, when your first letter name matches with other person, you remember easily. So as I know Bharat, so his B. So I remember if anyone's name is with B, I easily remember. Apart of that, you have to find a way, something which would have happened between you both, so you relate with that person and remember. So when you say to me, hi Supra, this is Shilpa here. So what I say, I call back your name again. Hey Shilpa or something. So that imprints in our brain. I learned this strategy in one of the sessions I had done. So like that, there are some of the techniques. So when you do those things, so you put the name of the person in your brain, that helps you in memorizing the name, and it remains with you forever. So I love that line. So I thought I'll just tell it to everyone over here. Yeah, a very, very nice talk. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shilpa. Wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful talk. Actually, yeah, it happens with me. I mean, after reading the book, I realized that it happens with so many people. I mean, when I was like kind of young, I used to think that, this kind of thing happens with me only, because as usual, I always used to forget names, and I used to tell myself that I'll not remember. In case if you come and talk to me also, I used to tell him that anyway, I'll not remember your name. What is the point of remembering? I used to tell that. But after reading this book, I realized that, I shouldn't tell that way. So this is what, that programming has been happening.
So I wonder, if I was not beside him, he used to ask me, what is that her name? What is that his name? So think about if your spouse, so there's no one beside you, who would help you?
Thank you so much. Yeah. And thank you everyone for patiently, staying with us. I know we have a lot of speakers today.
We will finish it.
Yes.
We have still time. We can take Sonali now. Yeah.
Yeah, Sonali. Yes.
We had overlap. Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to talk over here. I wanted to talk from the book Think and Grow Rich. So I'm going to talk from chapter number 3, that is faith. Faith is a state of mind which you may develop at will after you have mastered the state of mind. The emotions or our feeling of thoughts which give thoughts vitality, life, and action. It means our emotions or feeling of thoughts in our subconscious mind can be converted into action. Then after that, when you do action, your life will go through in a discipline. Then that discipline giving better result for your wonderful future, that is called success. I wanted to give an example of every Olympics, the world records keep tumbling. On the turn of the last century, 1900, the Olympics record for pole vaulting stood a little above 13 feet. But then came somebody who utilized a fiberglass rod. And today, the world record has crossed 20 feet. Just imagine. Can you believe this? Sorry. I'm sorry. That turned from 13 feet to 20 feet. Similarly, in high jump during the 1900 Olympics, the world record was only 6 feet and 2 inches. But in the 1960 came somebody who rethought this paradigm. His name was Fosbury. Rather than utilizing the regular jumping technique of going legs first, he chose to go the head first. And people are laughing with his technique, but his faith came into real success. In the 1968 Olympics, he won the gold medal, and today all the high jumpers utilize his technique. So this yearning to grow is innate our personality and until we become perfect. So I want to summarize my topic. You can believe on yourself with discipline and dedication and hard work. Then that are bring to wonderful future. In our day-to-day life, we faced a large number of people, but some people are give to suggestion with positive thing and someone give negative thought. But we are like a son to accept only positive thing and into our mind and neglect all negative thought. Yeah, so thank you for listening to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sonali, for taking very real-time example of the sporty person. There's one beautiful line I would say: if people have not laughed at you, means you are not gonna grow. So when people started laughing at him, he stepped into Olympics. It's not a joke, guys, going to Olympics. So today we just worry someone teasing at us or someone just make a talk about us. We just worry a lot and we just get stressed out on all those things. We should stop ignoring all those things. Remember one thing: if someone laughed at you, means you are climbing one ladder up. So every time everyone laughs, think that you have gone to the next ladder, and this will keep on making you reach to the top. And very well covered, Sonali. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're improving week by week.
Yeah, and good examples. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we have Shahid.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back, Shahid. After a very long time, we'll be hearing your talk.
Yeah, after a long back, really like amazing. Very good evening to everyone. Today's topic is something like work to learn, don't work for money. What if I ask you some questions like, why do people work? Obviously, most of the people may tell the answer that we work for money just to lead our life. We work for money. We work just for livelihood. We work for money. That's all. But according to Robert Kiyosaki, in his book, he clearly mentions that don't work for money, work to learn something, some skills. Dear friends, this chapter starts with an interview between author and another one lady, generalist. She wanted to know that she wanted to become a person like Robert Kiyosaki. She wanted to become a best-selling author. Robert advises her to take some of the marketings and selling courses, but she feel offended, she feel awkward about it just because she don't like marketing and selling persons. And she started telling that I am not such a person, such a cheap course, I am unable to take it, and I am a person who has completed like my masters in English literature and all those blah blah. So she is unable to convey the message. She is unable to agree with Robert Kiyosaki. So Robert Kiyosaki started telling that I'm just a best-selling author. If you are going to do that marketing as well as selling course, then you are going to become best writing as well as best selling author. What's the reason behind explaining this example is that something like that lady, that journalist has a very good skill of writing novels, writing articles, all those things, but she don't know the skill of marketing, she don't know the skill of selling. So that's why she is not as famous as Robert Kiyosaki. So that's why Robert Kiyosaki advises everyone to learn some of the skills which is helping us to grow our main skills. Let me take an example of any skill, like let me take an example of communication itself. Some people are very interested in reading books, some people are very expert in reading books and doing many things, but they are unable to learn the process of communication. They are unable to concentrate on public speaking. If they want to become a public speaker, even though they have a knowledge, even though they have everything, but they are unable to perform it, just because they don't have a supportive skill. If they don't have any supportive skill, then how can a person grow his main skill? How can he advertise his main skill? So that's the thing which Robert Kiyosaki wants to share in this book, in this chapter especially, that if you want to work for money, don't work for money. Because if you want to learn something, if you are learning new things, at that time you are going to grow like anything. If you are just working for money, you are going to end up with a specialization. You are going to end up with a specialization. By that, you are unable to focus on, you don't find any scope. If you are going out of your box, like if you are going out of your circle, you are unable to get any kind of job, because you are specialized in only one thing, maybe accounts, maybe engineering, or maybe anything. So that's why Robert Kiyosaki tells everyone that learning little about a lot. If you are learning everything about a one thing, then there is no use. If you are learning everything about something, then definitely you are going to be a good person. Then definitely you are going to lead your life in an awesome manner and earn millions of rupees. So that's what I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much.
Great, sharing, Shahid, from this wonderful book. Exactly what he said, right? I can give the my example. Like I was taking these particular health club sessions, right? So that actually gave me an opportunity to learn digital marketing. Now I had to make some videos. Edit those videos. I mean, I never thought that giving exercise will lead me to do all these kind of different experiences. So that's how, whenever you try something, right, you never know what was the window for you to learn those kind of things, and you should always stick in that particular field where you get chance to learn many things. Like for example, Robert, he actually joined a company, I think Xerox, I guess, just to to learn sales and marketing. So that's how you need to switch between your jobs if possible. Otherwise, it's okay. Find a alternate kind of mind your own business kind of a thing where you can learn different things. Thank you so much, Shahid, for this wonderful talk.
And same energy, I would say.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Sasi, you'll share.
Sharan wanted to speak, or he wanted to share.
Sharan, you want to speak anything?
Yes, Bharat. Actually, I'm poor in reading books at all. I just, after seeing off all this session, I want to speak something. I want to start up from now itself. Don't want to be dragged for next week or any other week. That's the only reason. And taking off your time, little, please bear of me. And usually everybody knows only one question. Like I want to go with a general topic which some people don't know and some people knows. Everybody, I think each and everybody knows the intelligent quotient, right? IQ. Everybody is having, and it is measured with the calculations and mathematical part and everything. Behind of this, there are three more quotients called emotional quotient, spiritual quotient, and physical quotient. I want to, share something about these three quotients, which plays a vital role in our day-to-day life. Everybody knows about the intelligent quotient. Hope I no need to explain about it. Like the spiritual quotient, it means everything being about ourselves, how we interact with the people, and how we price the world, and how we treat the others, everything. It comes under the spiritual quotient and the emotional quotient. It's all about depends upon the relationship between the people with us and with them. It and the physical quotient PQ. It means called it union of all these three quotients which exists in our body. And mostly like an intelligent quotient shares the left side of the brain, and emotional quotient shares the right side of the brain. The whole brain consists of the spiritual quotient, which makes to believe something like whether the God exists or whether we can believe someone or not.
Wonderful, man. Without preparation, and that's your first time, talk, and
Yes,
you have, knocked it out of the park. Great sharing, Saran. Wonderful.
I'm sorry for
Seem to
taking
be
up your
like an
time.
experienced speaker.
And one more thing I want to share actually, like I was literally poor in English communication, and because I don't have a schoolings, I was being directly jumped into the 10th class. I mean the SSC after intermediate and of degree and all. The only reason I was lagging being is the communication, where I want to develop myself. And Ceci proposed me this one, which is called the book club, where we can learn something which is not related and which we want to be grown up in the day-to-day life, which we want to how to grow and all. The only reason I was joining this, and I want to see myself being like something in next few months.
Yeah, the moment you think of your self development, if that thought comes to you, doors will be always open to you. It is said that the law of attraction works that way.
Yeah.
Anyone who has really thought about their growth or they're looking for something in their life, they get connected to the right kind of people with respect to what they attract in their mind.
Exactly.
So that really works, and I think that's how it is, Saran. You would have connected with Sachi, I would say.
Yeah.
And welcome to the book club. We'll be hearing from you much more talks.
Yeah, sure.
And
Thank
Sasi,
you.
sorry, it's already late.
And yeah, you have a
We'll
very
take it
important topic, so we don't want to miss that.
Yeah.
You can be the opening batsman in our session, because we should not miss
Okay.
it. Yeah.
And we have
I
couple
think
of
we can take it for the next week, Supra.
Yeah, yeah,
I think we
we'll
can
take
hear
it.
the introduction.
Yeah. And we have Arif and Jayashree. Jayashree, I know, but
We
Jayashree,
can have an introduction. Yeah.
you can have an
Arif, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah. Either Arif or Jayashree.
He has unmuted.
It's a great chance. Thank you so much. All this were great. And one of my mentor, Mr. Prashant, reference of this group. So he told me that you should join this group, and I would be very eager to speak next week. I would love to speak.
Sure.
Sure. Get connected with Bharat,
Yeah, who
Prashant, I
invited-
guess.
Who invited you? Prashant,
Sure.
is it?
Yeah, Prashant KV, Mr. Prashant.
Okay. I'll you can get in touch with me. Yeah,
Bharat will drop the number here. You can just get connected and
so that I can get you started with any of the books. Yeah.
yeah.
And
Sure.
Jayashree, in case
Thank
if
you
you're
so
there,
much.
you can introduce.
Thank you. Welcome to the book club. Jayashree, can you hear us?
Okay, no worries.
Yeah,
We'll take
we'll
it
get
next.
connected. Yeah. Anyone else who is missed out or would like to tell anything?
Nehnaz, you want to add anything?
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much,
Okay,
everyone.
guys, we have started our 90 days.
Okay.
Is she
And Nehnaz
unmuted?
wanted to say something. You can go ahead.
We want everyone to speak actually, so we give you the first chance. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I am actually very shy to speak. I'm very, like I have this public fear of speaking.
No worries,
But
Bharat
yeah.
would have attracted you for sure. Welcome. No worries.
Yeah,
We will have.
he's been asking me for quite few. I think it's been a month since I've joined the book club. Yeah, I've attended quite a few sessions also, and he's been motivating. Maybe I should try every week. But yeah, I've always postponed it, saying like not today, not today, maybe later. But yeah, surely next time I would, try.
Yeah.
One thing to add, Nehnaz, the moment you switch on your video, right, and start talking, your shy first level will go away for sure. That's my personal input for you, I would say. And for the next upcoming session, you will be more happy to switch on your video and start talking, I would say.
I'm sure. Yeah, I will do that.
You should implement it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, just wanted to say we have already introduced the 90 days program for you guys because we wanted to help you finish the book and understand the concept so we can get an interaction on a weekly or regular basis, so we get to know where you are stuck, what is your understanding, and if we could add our value added to your learning so far. We have started this 90 days program. In case your book is half done or anywhere, we can get it checked. I think Mohini has already got started with it, and Zazir also. I think he's not here. They would have shared their excitement otherwise. Mohini can add some pointers how the 90 days one-on-one talk was with her, so that if you guys can get started with that, it will be easy that we can understand each other and we can help you with planning your books, how to read. Not only that, it also will help you with Wheel of Life and other small activities every week, which will keep you energetic, I would say that. Yeah. So this was the important thing which we wanted to share with all of you. And also get people, guys, get in touch with your friends, because everyone needs to grow in life. Bharat and me personally always think that we are still lacking in some areas and we need to improve, and we get to learn from each one of you. So that's really important. Call out people, your brothers, your sister, your friends, anyone who would like to join this 90 days program, because we would get one-on-one interaction with every one of you and help you with small books which you can at least read once in your lifetime, the top 5 books, the top 10 books. I think it would really help all of you guys. Yeah. Yes. Anything to add from your end?
That's all.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you so much, and thank you all for your patience. We have crossed the time though, 10 minutes, and still you are here. Okay. Take care. Have your dinner in case you have not had. But I would say everyone to have an early dinner. Being Bharat a coach, he should help you all have right time food and everything. Yeah.
And carry a water bottle also. You should drink enough water also.
Yes. Okay. Good night, everyone. Take care. Yeah.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Bharat and Supra and everyone.
Thank you
Good
so
night.
much.
Thank
Thank you.
you, everyone. Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye. Good night.
I think you should ping Arif the number.
I pinged already. Arif, you got my number, right? You can reach out to me personally.
Yeah, I got your number. Actually, I'm in the same group, WhatsApp group, where you have shared.
Your voice is breaking. Just call me or text me. I'll help you. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Shilpa. Yeah. Good night.
Thank you, Shilpa. Thank you, Shahid.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye, Bharat and Supra. Bye.
Did you move to your new house?
I just shifted. I just came to my native actually. Yeah.
Congratulations.
That's nice. How is the shopping going on?
Yeah, it's going on.
You need some help.
Yeah, there are a lot of. Yeah, there are a lot of things to
Just
share.
joking.
Actually, I'll
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of things to share.
See, Samir, we are inviting ourselves for your marriage.
Yeah. No, there are a lot of things to share, so I will definitely connect. Yeah.
Sure. Just joking, Samir. Nothing. Don't take it seriously. Yeah.
No.
Even if you won't invite.
Take care, guys. Take care, everyone. Very nice to actually connect with everyone one-on-one. It feels very happy, actually.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Yeah.
Bye, everyone.